Hi everyone, Dr. Scott Theirl here, and it is Monday, April 13th, and it was time for a little video hello update because it's been about 3 weeks since we've closed the practice, functional restoration. The last patients we saw were on Friday, March 20th, and I don't like being in this office when it's all quiet all the time. It doesn't make me happy at all. In fact, it makes me quite sad, but I did want to answer the question, at least loosely, on why I felt strongly that it was time to stay closed. And those of you that know me and have been regulars in here since January and February and certainly into March recognize that I have followed COVID-19 as a virus very closely. And so closely that even my wife Stephanie said, wow, you don't often follow things like this quite this close. And I said, this is a different type of bug. He's incredibly good at transmission. And we still don't understand the pattern of who's most likely to get sick in a big way versus who's not. And you're seeing this week by week as it continues to unfold. It's difficult to see the pattern. It's difficult to isolate who's most at risk all the time. And because of that, that factored into my logical thinking of, I don't think it's necessarily worth the risk to have patients in the office personally with my exposure to them and their exposure to me, because those of you that have known us for a while know that I'm a backup caretaker for my dad. And I need to be there sometimes to help with their home care if their home care workers can't make it for some reason. So I need to stay healthy and at the top of my game too for my own family, but I also need to stay healthy for you guys so that when we do get back in the office, and hopefully that will be next month sometime in May, we could do it in a very safe, healthy way. Listen, everyone's scared right now, because the challenges exist that you don't really know how to mold your own life exactly with going out socially. And that's difficult. So from my perspective, you minimize your risk as much as possible. The real goal of minimizing that risk isn't just to you and yourself, but it's also take the load off the other healthcare workers, right? We have a lot of allied healthcare workers in ICUs and ERs all around this country right now. And the goal of staying at home is to help them so that the hospital systems don't get overflooded with a massive wave of patients that can't breathe all at once. That's why we're doing this. And it's incredibly expensive. It's expensive to small businesses like myself, right? And it's expensive to the government and the taxpayers. But it does seem to be the right thing to do. A lot of you have asked when you may think it gets back to normal, or at least whatever the new normal is, where we can go out and do things like come to the office. And I think what you have to do is go and watch news out of Spain and Italy and France. And if you watch the news that's happening over there, you will get an idea of timelines, because they're considerably further ahead of us than how this unfolds. So yeah, I think it's going to be quiet for at least another 4 weeks. I think that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be that way so that we take the load off of the hospital system. And then as time goes on and exposure goes on and we understand more 4 weeks from now than we do right now about this virus, we'll all start to relax a little bit and understand the pattern a little bit more and start to get back to our quote unquote regular usual lives. That, remember that pre-homeschooling days? That was not that long ago, and we've all had to learn how to mold and run and rock and roll with this whole situation too, myself included. So a lot of new things we're learning, a lot of new things that we still have to learn, and hopefully more than anything else, just know that I care about you guys as patients. Know that Stephanie and I are here for you if you want to talk about anything or if you need something. We've had the opportunity to touch base with many of you because of supplement orders, and these days we often just drop them off at your house in a safe distance sort of way so that we can say hello and we can get them to you a whole lot quicker than running them through the post office at this point. So we do that with a little bit of our extra time during the day. If you've had a test kit, you've been on the phone with me for test results with hormones and neurotransmitters, and we've gone through those results in the last couple of weeks while those have been coming into the office. And if you have a test kit that's sitting on your shelf that you haven't done yet, this is a great time to do it, right? You don't have to worry about how am I going to go to the office and have saliva samples with me at the same time throughout the day. That's not a worry or concern anymore. So get that done. Let's get that organized while we have a little bit of extra time and go from there. But know that I'm thinking about you all a lot. Know that I miss having you all in the practice and in the office a lot and catching up with you on a regular basis. And most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully next month in May sometime, we'll all start seeing each other in a halfway normal way again. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate all of you. Be well out there. We'll talk to you soon.